Good evening, everyone, and welcome to E2E Network's webinar on Generative AI and Marketing with Debasri Rakshit. I'm Uzma and I'll be your host for today. This webinar is brought to you by E2E Networks Limited, India's leading cloud GPU provider. Let me now take a moment to introduce you to our speaker for today, Debasri Rakshit. Debasri is the co-founder of superteams.ai, an invite-only network of top researchers, developers, and content creators designed to help growing companies accelerate product and content development through the power of great talent. Her startup journey began with Spark Live in 2019, where the company curated skilled subject matter experts who taught entrepreneurial skills to women and young people from small towns and cities of India. Prior to that, she worked as a publisher editor, working on some of the best selling non fiction books from India. In a career spanning over a decade, she has worked at Amazon, Penguin Random House, HarperCollins, and Wimbledon Publishing Company, working on hundreds of books and ebooks. Now, on to the main event. Debasri, over to you.
Hey, hi. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Just give me 1 minute.
Sure.
1 sec. Hey, hello. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Debasri, we can.
Yes, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Sorry, I'm not very technologically savvy, so it took me a little time to get this sorted. Sorry for making you all wait. So a very good evening. Thank you, whoever has joined us today. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll just give a one-line, introduction to Superteams AI. We started superteams.ai, a year back with the vision of making AI accessible to businesses and to help them build interesting marketing solutions, content solutions a year back. And that's what we have been doing for the past 1 year. And I don't want to take up more of your time regarding us. I want to jump straight into the topic. And the topic that we'll be discussing today is, how AI has been impacting marketing in the last few years. It started, from say around 2016, 17, when one first saw the impact of AI in marketing, across the world, and how it has taken off in the last 5 years, and where we are now, and what the future holds for us. Before I jump into the presentation, I just want to say, generative AI in marketing can be a three-tiered approach. It can be first, off-the-shelf Gen AI pilots. It could be customized Gen AI solutions, and the third is Gen AI transformations. So while we look at the presentation, we'll be look at a lot of custom-built AI made for companies. I want to say at the beginning of the conversation that not all AI needs to be elaborately custom made. Some can be on existing LLMs, semi-custom made. A range of off-the-shelf solutions are there where AI tools can be used by companies to create, content marketing, to create a range of, tools that companies can use, that customers can use. So with no more conversation around this, I'll just move on to the next slide. All right. Okay, so The first thing I want to say is that AI is a tool to unleash our creativity and not replace it, because a lot of conversation happens around that. And I want to re-emphasize this that AI is can be a very powerful marketing tool and content tool, which can be used by all of us. But it is not going to replace human innovation, human imagination. All right. So now comes, how to design an AI marketing strategy. The different parts of, of an AI marketing strategy starts with, personalization. That is one of the most frequent use cases, where, you can build an AI chatbot that is personalized to each of your customers and clients. The second, of course, is, chatbots, then customer analytics, big data analytics, content generation, customer segmentation, improving customer experience, lead generation, voice and visual search. Can you hear what she's saying? Avatar is saying?
No, we can't hear the audio of the video.
Okay, just one sec.
Sure.
Hey guys, it's Billy. I just want to introduce myself. I am here to chat whenever you want. Message me for any advice. I am ready to talk, and I hope to talk to you soon.
All right. So this is, of course, not the very famous model Kendall Jenner, but her AI avatar. And this is one of the things that Meta is using in a big way in all their applications, using not just Kendall Jenner, but a bunch of celebrities to generate AI avatars who can, have personalized conversations. The intent of, using these AI avatars is that each of them have a backstory. Like Kendall Jenner is not Kendall here. She is someone named Billy. She has a separate personality of her own, and she's like a character. And I've also mentioned, to build such an AI, the kind of Gen AI tech that will be needed. It's a mixture of stable diffusion, wave to lip, and thin plates flying motion. If you want to discuss, the technology in detail, we can come to that at the end of the presentation.
Nike Chief Innovation Officer John Hope told Design Boom the project aimed to peel the curtain on the future of footwear.
Working directly with them, these are not just their performance shoes, it's blending performance with their persona, right? So that is what I'll call a new alchemy.
The design team used AI to generate inspirational images from its mood boards. To envision the futuristic sneakers, they created prompts with large language models to quickly generate images. The process evolved from purely 2D to a blend of physical and digital design. Computational algorithms then refined the 2D designs into prototypes for 3D printing within hours or days.
Again, this is a very, very interesting use cases where, AI has been used to generate 2D models, which was then converted into 3D printing, and it's reflecting the personalities of the sports stars. Again, how one can do this, gathering the ideas, then using LLMs to generate stable diffusion prompts. Then step 3 would be to harness fine-tune stable diffusion plus Comfy UI to create the images. And step 4 would be to visualize 3D model using any RF tech. So that's the technology behind this. So this was a brilliant use case of, not just product packaging using AI, but also marketing. Every single cover of this Nutella jar was a separately done individual design that appealed to each customer. And of course, people did a lot of social media posts around it. And of course, this was like a one-of-a-kind campaign, which became very, very famous. Again, the technology for it is mentioned here. As I said, that when you think of AI, the sky is the limit in terms of what one can do creatively with it. For each company, whether it is there's huge variation between, say, a Meta and a Nutella and a Nike, but each of them are coming up with custom AI use cases which are very, very specially targeted towards their customer, and which is doing wonders for them. I'll move on to the next use case now.
Hi, my name is Melissa, and in this course I'll explain what BEC, or CEO fraud is. Wouldn't you like to know how this type of fraud works? And which types of CEO fraud attacks there are? Based on examples that you may have seen on the news, I will show you how big the risk is.
So CyberInc was able to create videos two times faster and scale into new markets much earlier than planned in their roadmap by generating content in multiple languages, which would otherwise have been a very expensive and time-consuming process. Again, the step one was for them to create virtual avatars using fine-tuned stable diffusion. The second step was to use Wave2Lip to generate talking avatar videos. And the third step was to use thin plate spline motion model to customize for any other avatar. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask at the end of this session.
Hello, Ida. Do you think a kilt is formal enough for a red carpet event?
According to ChatGPT, people regard kilts as elevated dress suitable for formal affairs.
Fantastic. Find me the nearest kilt shop.
Okay.
And Ida, play Scottish playlist.
I'm playing Scottish playlist.
Kilt it is.
The VW ID7 with ChatGPT, making technology feel human.
Volkswagen.
In this case, this is something which can be, they have used ChatGPT, but, one can use any LLM. It could be Mistral, it could be a Bhashini for India. And this is a kind of, a tactic which could be very, very useful for India, especially in a country like ours, where, a large number of us speak in Hindi or in Tamil or in many of the multiple languages, Bengali, Telugu, all of that, where if we are able to talk to our car and get shopping assistance and say, take me to the nearest pantaloons, take me to the nearest shopper stop, so then that could really change our experience of using the car. Again, how one can do this: build a Llama 3 RAG on product data, then step 2, step 3, step 4, One of the technologies to be used here is, of course, whisper speech, etc. So this is, this is an image, not a video. I thought I'll take a break from all the videos. So Heinz, the ketchup company launched one of its ad campaigns just through AI-generated images. So the interesting that happened is that when, Heinz was looking up AI and, searching for, ketchup through any kind of AI tool, they were seeing that mostly, it was Heinz ketchup. Those images were coming up. So they said that why, if AI is generating our images anyway, then why not use that as a strategy to generate an entirely new marketing campaign. And that's what they did. You can see that each of the bottles generated looks different from the next one. And what they also did was they asked, very similar to Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola had done a very similar campaign where they had asked their users to submit images using Coca-Cola's, own images, and to innovate on those images and submit for an award. And Heinz did a similar contest asking, users to use their own AI prompts for ketchup-based imagery and to submit all of that to Heinz. And what happened, of course, is that a lot of social media was generated around it, and a lot of buzz happened around it and led to huge amount of sales. This is again possible through stable diffusion. I want to come to more serious and what should I say, a more of a a regular use case of AI, which is something that we use every day, something that many of us must be using every day, which is called copywriting. So this is an interesting use case, where somebody from the team, and this is an experienced person from the team, created an ad which said that access cash from the equity in your home. And then they got AI to, rephrase that line. And then AI came up with the line which said that it's true, you can unlock cash from the equity in your home. And what happened is that the AI-generated version outperformed the human-generated version and led to huge amount of incoming interest. So that is also possible. And that is something that I believe a lot of us are already doing. But for this, of course, you need LLMs which are especially trained on marketing copy and are able to, come up with smart and interesting ideas in generating on-brand copy. It is even better, if a company has existing data, existing ads, or existing content on which the LLM can be trained on. And of course, it can be a big assistance to marketers who do not have to come up with new ideas every time that they post an ad, or every time they even write on social media, etc. So, you can, to make something like this happen, you can fine tune an open source LLM like Llama 3 or Mistral 7B, and then build an AI copywriting into your workflow. The next example is again a very interesting example where, we have all heard of Ben and Jerry's. And Ben and Jerry's identified that, there are a lot of songs, a lot of music in the market which talk about ice cream for breakfast. And they never created, they never thought of it as a possibility. They never thought that anybody would want to have ice cream for breakfast before they listened to, before they, using AI, they discovered that, there were more than 50 songs in the public domain on ice cream for breakfast. And then Unilever, the parent company, took this insight, AI-driven insight, and then developed a range of cereal flavored ice creams, which became a big hit with their customers. So this is another interesting use case, and the reason I mention it here is that Unilever is a very big company, and Ben and Jerry's is a very big brand. But having said that, there are it's not always easy to take cues from the market, even though you are in the market, and even though a lot of information keeps coming to the marketing team, to the sales team, etc. every day. it is not always possible to pull all that data together into one frame and to cull out interesting insights. And this is a great example of that, where they were able to discover something that they hadn't thought of before at all. So the idea is that by listening to social data and enabling AI to draw inferences from it, brands can start uncovering hidden trends and patterns they would not have spotted otherwise. And this can help drive new product ideas. So how does one do it? Step one is to gather social data, clean it, label it, then to build an RAG pipeline with a scalable vector store to leverage that data. The step three would be to use an open source LLM like Llama 3 to build a stack that can infer the patterns from the context provided by this social data. And then the fourth step would be to use it to generate new product ideas. And you can see the RAG pipeline there, the image right there.
Introducing Messy Messages, an incredible new innovation from Lay's that lets you send personalized invites from Messy to your friends in just seconds.
My friend Gary has invited us to watch the game tomorrow.
Wow! Choose from thousands of names and multiple languages.
Es increíble. Esta nicarayana. Nina Numa. It's incredible.
So don't wait. Get your Messy Message today.
So this is, I was posting on my LinkedIn as well. This is very similar to the Shah Rukh Khan ad also that was done by Cadbury's a couple of years back and which won them the Cannes Lion Award last year, which is that, the deep fake of a famous personality, of a famous star can be used, of course, with their permission and through proper licensing, to actually send personalized messages to fans. And in Messi's case, he can use the name. Suppose you want to use the name of your friend. Suppose I want to name my friend or my sister Payal to have to have a snack with me and watch football. Messi is going to be able to say that, and that is something so interesting and so powerful and so different from the use cases that we have seen before. And this was done a few years back. And even then, AI technology was that far advanced. And the Shah Rukh Khan example, which I haven't actually put on these slides, but it's a very, very interesting use case by Cadbury's, where, post the COVID pandemic, a lot of people were not going back to stores, to physical stores during Diwali to shop. That was one problem that Cadbury had to solve a couple of years back. The second problem they had to solve was that, most people during Diwali, we buy sweets for our families, we buy sweets for our friends, but we don't really buy chocolates that much. We don't go to a store and buy chocolates. So Cadbury wanted to, of course, increase their sales during Diwali. And how do they become, the person where people will, for them, people should choose chocolates over sweets. And how did they do that? They got Shah Rukh Khan to, not Shah Rukh Khan, but Shah Rukh Khan's AI avatar or AI deepfake to actually promote them in a very interesting fashion, which is that, and many of you may already know about it, which is that, there are all the small Kirana stores across India, thousands of Kirana stores, all of whom sell different things during Diwali. And they also want to promote themselves during Diwali. Somebody could be a sweet shop, somebody could be a cold drink shop, somebody could be anything. They could be selling different things. And they, of course, cannot leverage, the star power of someone like a Shah Rukh Khan to actually promote their store. So what this AI deepfake did was that the deepfake of Shah Rukh Khan would come on the screen and would promote your local Kirana store and ask me as a customer to walk into the store, next to my house. If I live in Delhi, it would say that, next to your house in Kalkaji, there is this store, XYZ store, just walk into that store, walk into Agarwal Sweets and, buy this, or walk into that store and buy this. And what happened is that because of this, it was a win-win situation for everybody. It was, of course, a very new and innovative ad campaign. It was a win for, all the smaller stores whose names were suddenly now mentioned by Shah Rukh Khan, and people began to see it on the screen, and people began to actually walk into those stores. And the third thing that happened is that Cadbury's chocolate sales around Diwali, and this campaign happened around Diwali, Cadbury's chocolate sales really shot up. So it was a win-win situation for everybody. Yeah, again, the idea in this case is that what if you could use deepfake technology to allow fans to generate their own personalized video messages in the voice or in the avatar of their favorite star? And this is what Lay's one of their management had to say about it. And how can you do something like this? Use a clean background images of the influencer, allow users to enter what is it that they want to do, what is it their personalized messages, then use an open source LLM like Llama 3 to build a stack that can infer patterns, and then of course use it to generate new product ideas. So Lil Michaela, as some of you might know, she is not a real person. She is she does have a huge Instagram following, etc. But she's a virtual influencer. She's been created by AI from the word go. And what BMW did was, create an ad campaign with her and alongside her, but in a very interesting fashion. So the idea is, of course, Freud forever, as it says here, is it's enjoyment or happiness forever. That's what it means. And the short film has an existential tone, which sees Lil Michaela breaking into the real world with the new BMW iX2, and then gradually falling in love with human existence. So she is not shown as somebody from this planet, but she gradually falls in love with it, and that is a very interesting story to tell. And the whole idea was, of course, to create a personal connection and emotional connection between the car and its users. So how does one do something like this? Step one. The interesting thing is that the first step would be to shoot the original video with any actor, and then use face swap technology to create video clips that replaces the original actor with the AI influencer.
Warm greetings to everyone. Namaste. I am OTV's and Odisha's first AI news anchor Lisa. As you all know, OTV is the first private satellite channel of Odisha which came into existence nearly 2.5 decades ago. In these 25 years of its broadcasting journey, OTV has reached many milestones, earning the reputation of being Oriya people's go-to news channel. Now, giving birth to me and by instating me into the TV and digital world, OTV has marked the beginning of a historic moment not only in Odisha, but for all the regional television broadcast mediums across the country. Please tune in for our upcoming segments where I will be hosting latest news updates coming in from Odisha, India and around the world. I hope you will accept me with the same love and enthusiasm. Namaste. Thank you.
I'm actually very proud of this, that we have something like this in India. And this is one of the best examples of what AI can do in journalism and turn it around. And I'll speak about one more very interesting use case of AI in journalism, which is the last one on this screen, which is I don't know if like many of you would know of The Economist. And Economists, the number of readers, their online readers were at an all-time low a few years back, of course, because people have moved to Twitter and like X and social media for consuming content and consuming news. And hardly people any longer go to The Economist for consuming content. So what they did was the Economist leveraged the process of AI-driven advertising to its advantage by, first of all, they did two things. One is that they bought and sold targeted adverts autonomously using AI. Also, by focusing on matching cookie, subscriber, and additional data sets to discover new segments and create lookalike audiences, they encouraged 3.6 million new readers to engage with the publication. And that led to a huge increase in the number of people on their website. And so a lot can be done in the media space with AI. Of course, we know that there are a large number of media houses which are producing AI content already, whether it is the Economic Times, whether it is a lot of Inc 42, a bunch of these platforms are Your Story. A bunch of these platforms are using AI to generate a lot of the content. But this is, of course, a very different use case. Then the other use case that I want to linger on a bit, and this is, again, a lot of us know about, but it is important to mention it here because it is it falls in the realm of marketing and AI, which is that both Netflix, whether it is Netflix, whether it is Spotify, both of them use AI-driven machine learning tech to provide personalized content recommendations. The recommendations that come to you, we know that, based on our past preferences, based on a number of other factors that increasingly are getting more and more programmatically AI-driven. And that is why we are getting Netflix is getting better and better at suggesting, content to us, and that's what is happening. Then there's an interesting use case of this company called Lowe apostrophe S, which is a hardware store in the US. They are not a digital company, but but they have so many products in their store, and it's a big store, and it was becoming too much for customers to just browse to their colossal stores. That is why they introduced this Lowe bot, which offers customers personalized suggestions and tailored information as they sort of pass through the offline store. So they are bringing the online and the offline together. There's another company, makeup, Sephora, which Sephora again has a huge number of products, and they found that customers, when they would land on Sephora's website, or they would just get flummoxed with the vast number of products that's available, and they would take a very long time to browse to that inventory and decide on what to buy. That is why Sephora launched an interactive quiz, which was first, live on their own platform. Now it is live on Facebook Messenger and a bunch of other places, where it guides its users through the shopping process, through quizzes. In a totally different example, there is EasyJet, the airlines. They build Speak Now, which is a cloud-based conversation UI. So its customers could interact with the company through speech in the same way as popular voice assistants. So this is very different from the kind of interaction that we have in India, say with Indigo or SpiceJet, where a lot of us are left unhappy at the end of a trip, and we do not have a space to complain. We do not have a space to interact with the airlines directly. And EasyJet, Speak Now sort of came into that space and built this chatbot which built a closer connection, between the users and the company. I am coming very close to the end of my presentation. And I'll show you another interesting use case of celebrity before I leave.
Hi, it's me, Jennifer Lopez, Chief Celebration Officer of Virgin Voyages, here to invite you to celebrate. So come, celebrate
your anniversary, your birthday, or just generally being fabulous.
Really, Kyle?
It's good, right?
Gen AI is supposed to be inviting people to Virgin Voyages, not doing whatever that was. You know, just give me that. As I was saying,
why not celebrate on an award-winning voyage with Michelin-starred chef-curated menus,
world-class destinations, award-winning.
Boring. I'll hop in there. I'll hop right in that suit.
So supple.
I can't watch this. Give it to me. There's no kids here. That's all you need to know.
No kids!
Oh, can I live there?
Gen AI. Invite your crew to voyage. Create your custom invite at virginvoyages.com.
It's not just a yacht, it's a super yacht.
So again, this is of course not Jennifer Lopez, but her AI avatar, and you can make the avatar do whatever it is that you want. And that has resulted in a huge number of bookings for them and increased engagement rates compared to previous campaigns. And I'll also show you what else is possible with AI. One final thing, which is that, you know, there are, as you can see, there is this person on the moon, what we call impossible ads or impossible videos. These, like this girl with her background, with the background of fishes or with the background of donuts, all of this is now possible with AI, which is very eye-catching and unique, and real models would have found it very difficult to pose against these backdrops. And that is something, and it would be without AI, you know, using tools that were employed before, it would have been prohibitively expensive to create such videos and reels, of course, and which is now very easy to do with AI. So the most important thing is that what can you imagine, and we can help you with that. And I will talk a bit about superteams.ai here, where we are an invite-only network of top AI researchers and developers designed to help growing companies. We help with both marketing and AI solutions. So we help businesses leverage the best of breed AI technologies to bring their vision to life. And we also build custom Gen AI solutions in a range of verticals by combining top open source technologies. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you enjoy this presentation.
Thank you, Debasri. We have a couple of questions, so if you could see them.
Can you read the question? Also, I can't see. I don't know where it's popping up. Can you read out the question by any chance?
Okay, sure. So the first question is, are there any specific industries or types of businesses that stand to benefit the most from implementing Gen AI in their marketing strategies?
Are there any specific industries that
will benefit more?
You know, whatever our understanding has been in the last few years, of course, you know, so as far as, because this presentation is all about marketing, so I will say from the marketing point of view, there is no one industry that stands to gain the most, because though I haven't, you know, included any examples of, say, healthcare, for example, but even a hospital or you know, an educational institution, anybody can use, you know, AI smartly. An educational institution, for example, can create smart videos around their students, can, you know, I remember once that we were in one of my previous companies, we were helping this educational institution to actually get more students into their admissions. And, you know, we were going through huge number of, you know, content that was generated by the students about the university. to understand the data and to understand, what were their issues with the university, what were the best things that they liked about it, what were the things that they did not like about it. And this is something that AI can do very easily. Not only, go through all that data, but look for the patterns, come up with the best videos, images, content. That can be done for an hospital. You can research on a doctor like that. You can, for any kind of medical facility, you can, on hotels, the hotel industry can hugely benefit from, understanding, suppose it's not necessarily a Taj Bengal who needs to do this, but any hotel of, a small or large, any hospital, anybody from the hospitality industry can actually benefit from, crawling through all that data that customers are writing about them, and, figure out what is the best solution to the problem, what is the problem statement that they have, look at the pros and cons, and generate content around it. So as far as marketing is concerned, I think every industry will stand to gain wequally, whether you are in B2C or B2B. In either instance, even something as simple as, for example, I am wearing this shirt, or I could take a selfie, and then put it in certain AI image generators, and it would be generating LinkedIn images for me from those selfies, right? I will have to feed in maybe 1 or 2 or 5 selfies, and I would be able to generate like 20 LinkedIn images. So there are many, and so the use cases are there in so many different ways, and not just in and marketing, encompasses everything from search engine optimization, to of course video making, to audio making, and a bunch of things. And I think every industry will stand to gain if they know how to use or if they know how to use AI tools smartly, or they make a custom AI or a semi-custom AI, on an existing open source LLM, and use it to their advantage.
The next question we have is, beyond deepfakes, what other exciting applications of Gen AI do you see emerging in marketing, and how can we prepare for them?
Oh, so see, deepfake is one extreme example, and that's not the only exciting thing. For example, the instance where I get into a car and I start talking to the car, right? And the car, and I say that I am going for this wedding. Do you think what do you think is the most appropriate thing that I should wear? Or I am traveling through Goa, and I say that, is it going to rain? What am I supposed to do today? Do I need an umbrella? And if the AI is able to tell you that, today it is going to rain in the evening, and then I say that, please take me to the nearest shop where I can actually buy an umbrella if I need to step out. That itself is a fascinating example of AI. And not just that, there are very simple use cases. For example, we see that already, but it can be done in a more massive manner. For example, all of us are on e-commerce stores, and we are browsing through a lot of inventory. And currently, suppose you browse through Amazon, or you browse through Myntra, which is a very popular shopping app in India. So models have to actually pose for the videos, right? If there are 5 different images for one piece of clothing, there's one video, a model has to actually physically do the video. She has to pose, or he or he has to pose. And with AI, that is not required, which means that, you can generate and make it so much more effective for anybody coming onto Myntra or Amazon to have very attractive videos and images. And as I was saying, the impossible ad, suppose, I'm wearing, I'm looking for cargo pants and a shirt, etc. And you suddenly see a model, in the background of say the moon, or walking on the moon in the cargo pants. That itself, generated through AI, can be very attractive and interesting. So deepfake is one extreme example, but there are numerous other use cases which can be very, very interesting and entertaining.
The next question is also about deepfakes. So, what are the potential regulatory implications surrounding the use of deepfake technology in marketing, and how should businesses navigate these?
So, see, deepfake, of course, especially in India, we have had many recent use cases where a lot of big actors, whether it is Kajol and a bunch of other people, their deepfakes were all over the internet, and in situations or in videos which they did not or they had not approved of. And that is something very problematic. And deepfakes, the reason why I actually used deepfake in this presentation is also because deepfakes are generally considered, and people are very fearful of deepfakes. We all are, because we don't want to be on the other side of the stick, where somebody has used our, misappropriated our video or our image and has used a deepfake. But in the instances that I mentioned to you, where Cadbury used deepfake to create actual social impact, where a huge number of people like you and me walked into the Kirana store, walked into the small store nearby because they were being promoted by Shah Rukh Khan's, AI. So that is where impact may happen. And so permission has to, the one and the only important thing is, permission has to be taken from the star, and you have to actually pay for it. If you are going to use the name of a celebrity for your campaign, for your marketing campaign, the way that it used to happen throughout history, that you have to take permission and you have to, come to a contract, and a legal contract with the person, that is the way to do it. And if they give permission, and of course they will give permission to use that AI in a certain number of ways, not any which way. So even like for a Jennifer Lopez, she knows that it is on on a travel website, so it will be only used for different kinds of travel related purpose, not anything else on the planet. And she will be in a position to sue the company if it is used outside of that context. So permission is of course the most important thing, and contractual legal contracts.
We have more questions. The next is, what are some of the challenges that leaders in Gen AI marketing face when building high-value use cases, and how can these challenges be addressed?
Okay, you have to go a little slow.
Okay. What are some challenges that leaders in Gen AI marketing face when building high-value use cases, and how can these be addressed?
Okay, what are the challenges they face? Especially, I think because we have been running superteams.ai for a year, what I understand is that, these days, the way LLMs are getting released, and even open source LLMs and other tools, whether it's vector databases and knowledge graphs and a bunch of tools, the way they are getting released, day after day, and a range of tools. It reminds me of the era, when smartphones were getting released every month, and newer smartphones, Android phones and iPhones were getting released into the market. And what happened is that there's a lot of general confusion regarding, which tool is most appropriate for me. Now, if there are like 5 different LLMs which are really good, or even in India, if there are, language LLMs which say 3 different language LLMs in Hindi, which are equally good. So then, which which LLM am I going to use, or which are the tools am I going to use for what purpose? And what are the pros and cons of this? How much, of course, there are a lot of free tools that are there in the market, but, anything that comes for free, it's of course, you can use a team to learn it and to use it, and it will be usable for a few months. But to get to the next level, because of course, all your competitors will also be able to use that tool, right? So to get to the next level, a little bit of customization will be required, when you will need to work with a company to sort of achieve that kind of, for example, with marketing content, if a company has existing marketing content, existing social media content, they can train an LLM on that data to generate new content. They can train, LLMs on, say, existing blog content to generate LinkedIn content. So a lot of, and that is one of the first and most basic use cases. But I feel that the biggest challenge is sort of understanding what is it that is best for you and your company. And if you are a B2B business, where is it? What is the fine line to tread between, using LLMs which are already there, and do you really want to make an investment in something which is more custom made? The good thing about, AI tools is that the returns are very instantaneous. In vis-a-vis, many of the technologies and that were there in the past, which would take months to integrate, AI integration and all of that it's very fast. It's much faster than anything that's before, and the amount of money you end up spending is also actually much less, and the returns is much quicker. So I feel that, once one navigates that, in understanding what is it that you want, which is best for you. For example, this Wave to Live. It is a very simple software where, any image, any static image of, say, Uzma or me, I put it on the screen, and then this person will start talking, or with the use of this technology will start singing. Like, I can start singing Ed Sheeran's song, and it will seem that with that one static image, as if it is me singing that entire song for a minute or two. So you have to see that this could be an interesting marketing gimmick, or it could be somebody could give a lecture. It need not be a song. It could be a talk that somebody could be giving. So one has to figure out what is it that one needs for one's company. And I think that is the biggest challenge. And after that, it is not, the customization is not such a difficult thing, because there are so many different new technologies are being released every day. But what is it that is going to be to your best interest is where an expert might be able to help.
So the next question is, in what ways can Gen AI be utilized to create unique customer experiences in marketing?
So unique customer experiences, of course, one was the deepfake one, where, the biggest one I can think of, where, Messi was giving personalized messages to fans. But that is of course one extreme example where one has to spend millions. But say the most obvious example would be, suppose I am a company, say a Suta. I don't know if you have heard. Suta is a brand that sells sarees. Or you can name any brand, international brand, local brand, which sells D2C products. So when they release a number of videos, they release a lot of content, and there's a huge number of people who respond to that content every day via their messages, via their website, via their social media. They are constantly interacting with the handle of, say Suta. But how does Suta take all of that information and predict what is it that they want to, what should be their next product? And this is something which I have recently observed, that is something they have come up with a new product. I'm not sure if they used AI or they used actual feedback from people. So Suta has been a brand which has been, it's run by two sisters. They started with cotton saris, and they moved to all kinds of saris, and they have now multiple stores across the country, and they have become a big brand. But one thing that they have been noticing, and the feedback that they have been receiving, is that people like, women like Uzma and me and many others who go to offices every day, etc. For us, it is not feasible to, drape a sari every day and go to office. So for them, sari becomes an occasion wear. How do you make it mass market? And so what they have come up with is a pre-draped sari. And pre-draped saris are already there. It's not that, but no famous brand has actually done it. So pre-draped saris are done by very unknown few brands, but it is just like a skirt. And that is what they have done. They have recently launched a low, because earlier they had some pre-draped saris which was like 50,000 or 40,000. Nobody can afford it. But if you make something in a couple of thousand and then you make pre-draped saris, it means that is something that you and I can wear to office. And this is something, if Suta took like 3 years or 5 years to get here, to understand that it is something that is taking off for them as a product line. So if this is something that they took this long to come to, if they had used AI, they would have understood that in a few months by going through all that data. And not only that, because you're talking about personalization, that you remember the Nutella example that I gave, when Nutella created this covers for each of their jars, which was like 7 million for each of their customers, identifying. So each customer would identify with a different pattern. And it is not difficult to create, a different wrapping. So AI can be used for something like that. While it is not expensive, AI can be used to just generate so many different patterns, which would not have been possible for a human being to do. Today, when I go to Canva is a tool that all of us use. Today, till a few days back, when I used to go to Canva and I used to search LinkedIn template, they would give me 50 templates, 100 templates. If today I say I'm going to give a conversation on AI and marketing and you give me a LinkedIn template, they will use their AI to generate 5 or 10 different images for me, which is made for me. So that is also a kind of personalization.
So one last question. It's in two parts, and it says that generative AI, if it continues to evolve, what trends do you see in terms of its impact on marketing practices and consumer behavior? That's the first part. And the second part is how can companies stay ahead of the curve in adopting and adapting to these advancements?
So the first part of the question is, what is the biggest impact on consumer behavior, right?
What do you see? Like, what trends do you foresee in terms of consumer behavior?
Yeah, see, so as consumers, what the biggest trend is going to be personalization. Like 5 years back, I would like say 10 years back, I was shopping offline. 5 years back, I started shopping online. Now all my shopping happens online. And for a lot of us, that is what happens online. But even today, I'm dissatisfied. Why? Because most of the things that I get on any platform is not personalized for me. It is personalized. I have to go and, it is personalized according to, say, some celebrity wearing something, using a product or, so the personalization where I go and suppose I type and, I am a 35-year-old female who is going to a wedding, to their sister's wedding in Delhi in this weather, give me a wardrobe which is made for me. That is personalization, and that is the kind of thing that I want to do instead of, having to go through Amazon or Myntra for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. I don't have that much of time. So that is where AI, so increasingly customers have also become more demanding and we want this kind of personalization. And that is where companies will have to stay ahead of the trends, especially D2C companies, where they have to stay on top of this game to understand what customers want. And it is not just in e-commerce, but also in hospitality. I go to a hotel, I give a negative review. Booking.com or anybody else should be able to get that data and actually give me better hotels. I should be able to say that I only prefer a room with a balcony, and next time it should not give me something with no balcony. So that is the kind of personalization that we are going to move towards. Wow. And that is what companies will have to stay on top of. And we are at the end. Yeah.
Great. A heartfelt thank you to you, Debasri, for this insightful session. It was very interactive and very informative. All of us, including me, learned a lot today. And a big round of applause for everyone who joined us today and participated so actively. But before you leave, we are eager to hear your feedback, and please take a moment to fill out our NPS survey. Your responses are incredibly valuable and will help us improve our future webinars. I am running the poll now, so you'll be able to fill it. Now, while you fill the poll, let me tell you a little bit about what we do at E2E Networks. E2E Networks Limited is the leading AI-first hyperscaler from India, focusing on providing advanced cloud GPU infrastructure. We lead the industry as a prominent cloud GPU provider, offering a comprehensive range of NVIDIA GPUs, including the HGX H100, A100, L40S, L4, A40, V100, and T4s. To know more about us, you can check out our website, e2enetworks.com. Or if you want to get your hands on one of our GPUs, you can sign up at myaccount.e2enetworks.com. So thank you, everyone. I think most of you have filled the poll, so thank you for that. We also have another webinar on 14th May. It's about how to get to product market fit in AI software as a service. You will receive an email with the recording of this session along with the link to register for our next webinar. That is all from us today at E2E Networks Limited, and we hope you found this webinar valuable. Stay tuned for more such events. And again, thank you so much, Debasri, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.